So I'm going to be giving you guys an insight first to the current trade right now that we have going on. And I'm going to be giving you guys the long-term trade, right? I promise you, the move that is about to happen in the market is it's just gonna be crazy, right? And if you know my system of trading, you know I'm a swing trader. I really don't care about the small moves, and I really don't, involve myself with the tiny moves. I focus on the actual move that is going on in the market that I see that, okay, this is very certain that the market is going to make this move. That's what I love to get involved in. So I see that happening right here in the market. And perhaps this month, next month, we're getting to the peak of the summer season. So expect the market to make very strong moves. And this is one of them. I was initially on the buy entering this week. We took our profit. We don't have to, we took our profit. And, now I'm already on a sell. How did we get this done? How did we get this done? How did we get this done? So let's get straight into the market. So I'm going to be doing two things. I'm going to be giving you the immediate trade that you can take right now, provided, what we're looking for happens. That's number one. Then I'm going to be giving you like a longer term trade, right? So let's see how that is going to play out. So, first, I'm going to take everything off so that we all have an understanding of what is going on. Like I said, it's not really in my plan to, to build traders who depends on me solely. So regardless, I'm doing this for free. I'm still going to show you guys, a few things so that you guys can understand like what we got going on. So, yes, this video recording is going to be made available on YouTube so that you can watch it back, and it's going to be a live one. So the first things first is I would like to speak in 5 minutes on psychology. Look, I see a lot of people in the chat room, and trust me, if from a professional standpoint, you can actually tell the reason why people are gonna keep moving in circles, right? I look at the chat room for fun whenever like I'm free for the day, and I just can't help but it's like, oh my God, I can tell who's ready. I can tell who can get profitable very soon, and I can tell like who is just gonna keep revolving in circles, right? And that's the reason. Why do I know that? Just from the way you do your analysis. Not only that, but from your expectations, from your comments of the market, I can tell like what you're doing. So the first thing I'd like to say to you is this: most of the things that are going to make you money in the market are not things that you are going to do on the market. They are things that you already have a clarity of in the market, that now when you get on the market, you have a clear direction of this is what I'm going to do, this is why I'm going to do it, and this is the result I'm going to be looking to obtain in the market, okay? And it's so crazy because most people don't have this mental clarity. They say you have to have it in your mind first before you can manifest it in physical. It applies to Forex trading. If you do not have a clarity of what you're looking to achieve, there's no actual way that you can actually make anything out of the market. It's just not possible, because you find yourself being susceptible and vulnerable to every candlestick move in the market. I've got people in the chat room that they are on the buy bias now, but because one candlestick just made a move, they're already on the sell. Then again, they're on the buy and on the sell. And what happens is their account keep mopping off systematically, right? They keep losing a chunk of their account systematically to all of these moves, right? You do not want to get into the market without clarity of what you want to do. A lot of you guys think what you are going to do in the market that's going to make you money is actually understanding technical trading. Yes, it apart. But technical trading is actually a tool to bring to life what you have in your mind. Okay? So what does it look like from a professional standpoint? It's very simple. I can stare at the chart right now. I can tell you where the chart is going to go in the next 1 month. And all I have to do now is apply my technical understanding just from the place of intuition and understanding clarity of what I'm looking at. Just staring at the market, I can tell where the market is going to, right? Now, from the place of technical trading, now I'm not going to use my technical tools, right, to bring this to life. And I'm going to keep eating the market in part and part and part. For example, I've seen that the market is going to sell long term. I've seen it since about 2-3 weeks ago, right? But I kept eating the market on a smaller chunk, smaller chunk, smaller chunk. I keep taking the buy, the little buy, while the market is building up for the sell, right? So most people do not have this clarity in their trading. And I do not want you to be like that. And that's why you're in Swing Trade FX. And I'm saying this, if you can make the most of every free resources I've given to you, take a little step further. If you can take it, maybe the boot camp, for example, which is accessible to most people and affordable to most people, or the one-on-one, trust me, you are going to have an understanding of what you need to know, right? Remember this. I want you all to write it somewhere. Most of what is going to make you money in this market is not what you're doing on the chart. It's about you having a clarity of what you need to do. And there's no way you can have a clarity of what you need to do if you do not have specific knowledge. Now, in the process of having specific knowledge, you become someone capable of interpreting the market. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not about what you can do, it's about who you become, right? You become someone capable of seeing the language of the market the way it presents itself. So let me give you guys let me bring it to life what I just said. So first of all, I want to make something clear to you. GJ is not a buy. GJ is not a buy. I see a lot of people making these mistakes. Let me know in the chat section, how many of you have the buy bias, proud to now? Be very honest, because you're going to learn something. Real quick, drop the comment. How many of you? Drop the comment. How many of you thought the market was going to go on the buy? Why? Because, last night, well, our time zones are different, but just a couple hours ago, the market was, just pushing up, right? And we had this whole idea that the market was going to go on a buy. You get it? And of course, you're not wrong, because whatever the market was doing at that point in time, right, was respecting whatever particular structure was going on in the market, right? But hey, if you had paid attention enough, for over 3 weeks ago, you could have told that the market is coming on a sell, right? So now let's get into the analytical part of things, right? So the first things first is for you to understand the flow of the market. You need to be able to understand the flow of the market. What is the market doing? What is the plan? Look beyond what the market is currently doing and go back and relate the story to what it's been doing in the past. Then you're able to get the context to which you're going to be operating on, right? It's more psychological. So now the first things first is I can actually see that the market is coming off a very strong bullish, push, right? The market is coming off a very strong bullish move, and it's just okay, right? When you come on the weekly time frame, you come on the monthly time frame, you can see what the market is doing. In fact, let's look at it closely, right? We can see that the market has broken this point right here. And now that the market has broken this point right here, the market is going to be coming to this point right here. Yes, this is what it looks like in the long term, right? But then the market doesn't just break and move like that. How do I know? The lower time frame is going to tell me all of that, right? So I believe strongly that what we should be expecting and anticipating is the market making some form of pullbacks. Okay? I believe ultimately that what we should be expecting is the market making some form of pullback then before we finally get the push to the upside, right? And why do I believe that? After a push phase in the market, there's bound to be exhaustion. The market moving a push exhausted phase, right? So you should have an understanding of that, right? And it's something I love to educate my students about, right? Especially when I'm teaching them about the multi-time frame analysis. Okay, so now that we have an understanding that this is potentially where we might be going to, so what is the next thing that I want to do, right? I want to come to the weekly time frame to see the flow of the market, what the market is doing. Now, what is the market doing on the weekly time frame? I want to see from this point right here, the market found a very strong momentum, right? We had further push right here, support and push right here, and this was the latest, most obvious push that we have in the market. It only makes sense that the market will continue to go up, right? But there's something interesting that I need you to see, right? After the market found a very strong push, this is the most recent push that led the market to the upside. This right here is the most recent push that led the market to the upside. The market broke the resistance right here. Now, that's one thing I want you to know. The market broke the resistance right here. Now that we broke this resistance right here, there's something, let's get back to the monthly time frame real quick. Now that we broke that resistance right there, doesn't mean that the market is just going to keep going until it gets to that top. No, it doesn't happen in that way. At some point, there have to be a point of recline before the market is finally now pushed to this upside, right? So most people, because the market has given the confirmation that, okay, I'm going to the bullish part on the bigger time frame, most people just feel and believe that that's what the market is going to keep doing. No, at some point, the market needs to find strength. And what is the psychology behind it, right? Once the market make a strong push to the upside, what happened is it goes on an extended phase, right? Now, what happened right there is the buyers in this case are going to be exhausted at some point. The sellers are going to take advantage, right? The sellers are going to take advantage regardless, right? And once the seller takes advantage, now the buyers are actually waiting on key levels. They are either waiting on the Fibonacci levels, they are either waiting on whatever levels. Different people have different indicators and different things, pivot levels and whatever they use, right? But I use pure price action, right? Hacking into the psychology of traders, right? Some goes into the previous area resistance, strong support, and the push, right? So in this case right here, I see a potential for the market right here to actually come to this level, right? And perhaps even go further down a bit before it actually make the strong push to the upside, right? So what we want to do now is to capitalize on that exhaustion. So the next challenge now would be, how do you know that an exhaustion is coming at this level? How do you want to know? How do you want to know? It's very simple. The information that you need on that is going to be made available on the lower time frame. Simple. So how do we know? Right here, give me a second. How do we know right here that there's a potential exhaustion around the zone? It's very simple. So what we're going to do now is go to the daily time frame to see what the daily time frame has been doing. Remember, the long-term view is actually a strong push to the upside, right? But we want to see something, right? You can see that this has nothing to do with technical. I haven't even done much technically. All I'm doing is interpreting the market based on what it's doing. So now we saw that after the market made this very strong push to the upside. Now look at this. After the market made a very strong push, it broke this level. Remember, hold up, give me a second. Everyone right here has no excuse not to make money, right? At least for this particular trade. And perhaps, I don't know if I'm going to be doing this often, but it's just so fun today. I'm feeling good. Remember that we made we said that the bullish momentum came in right here and it broke this level. Now, you see the first phase of the move that you found right here is actually the first phase of the market breaking this level, retesting this level, and going to the highest it can go. At some point, the price has to recline for a further push. So what is it going to look like on the daily time frame? I'm going to give you a shot now. Now, on the daily time frame, this is what the market is going to look like. Right, we have a situation right here where the market started the very strong bullish push right here. Then it started another bullish push, and ever since then it's been going on a higher high, higher low, higher high. A stronger higher low right here. You can see stronger higher low right here, and we have a very strong phase of higher low right here. Now look at this little retest right here and the push. So at some point, the market has to come back right here to fill in the new higher low before it now takes us back to the upside. So what does it look like in the grand scheme of things? It's really very simple. The market here is rejecting. This is the most recent rejection, is breaking it right at this point, and it's coming to this level to give us a new higher low, which is more stable higher low. Because let me give you guys a secret, right? The steeper a trend gets, right, the better you should anticipate, is retracement before it pushes, right? There are technical Fibonacci reasons to that, right? Which I'm not just going to go into that, right? I can give you a technical Fibonacci formula that you can use to get a trade or a trend that is going to break, actually, right? So there's so many diverse areas of knowledge in this trading that you need to understand, right? There's so many tools you need to keep in your arsenal, right, for you to be able to actually trade properly. So now, what do I know right now? Now, when the market broke this level right here that we're looking at, right? When the market broke this level, hold up, let me make this clear enough. When the market broke this level right here, this was the highest it went to. So at some point, there has to be a recline. Now, the market has to plateau to this level, make a push to this level, and continue. Now, the push back down is what we want to capitalize on. Now, you already have an accountants, right? You can see I've not even put a lot on the chart for me to interpret the chart. All you have to do is to have a specific understanding of how chart flow works, right? So on the daily time frame, we are having this area already, and this area is actually giving us a potential information by the reasons of this consolidation, right? So that is the first things first. So now, how do we now pattern this in different chunks? How we're going to make money off of it? Now, it's very simple. Am I just going to be selling directly? No, the market doesn't work in that way, right? So the next thing I want to do is I want to be able to identify specific areas, right, that I could be trading the market too, right? So I have the specific, higher low level right at this point right here. So I'm definitely going to bring this level out. So I have a level right here where the markets might be coming to, in the first grand scheme of things, right? So I have this resistance level right here. Now look at the highest point the market went to after it broke that level, that resistance level. It came back to this level to retest. It's consolidated to the downside. Initially, I would have thought the market would start coming down to that point. Most people are going to be looking at this as a double top. I want you to do away with those double top. Those are basics, right? You cannot want to make money on the long term and just stay focused on the basics, what you got introduced to in Forex trading, right? And we have this level. So now, what is the next thing I want to do? I want to identify that level out. So we have a level. This area, all these areas are zones, right, in the market. Now, you can see this is the first time I'm looking at doing something technically in the market. First of all, you have to have a clarity of what you want to do, right? So we have a resistance level right here in the market, right? So what is the next thing I want to be able to understand? Now, this resistance level right here, I want to look at the structure of the market, leading to that resistance from the last level of support I was looking at, right? So I'm going to identify, remember that we took a trade of this point, a couple of weeks ago, if you can remember, maybe about a month ago, very profitable trade, right? The reason why we took it was very simple. We're not going to get into that. So now that we are having this level, now what I've been able to do is I've been able to use my understanding of the chart flow and how the market flow actually to understand the range I'm going to be focusing on. So the range I'm going to be focusing on in the market for the next couple of weeks are actually these range to this point, right? So my sell definitely might become to this point, but am I just going to enter the sell just like that? No, you have to be very wise with things, right? So what's the next thing I want to do? Let's come to the 4 hours time frame and see what the market is doing. Look how we're taking the market from the actual higher time frame down to this point. So what are we having right now in the market? It's a very simple stuff. Now the markets, what you want to read the structure of the market. What's the structure of the market? The market is giving us a higher high, the higher low, the higher high right here, the higher low, right? Remember that we took a trade, a sell trade. I really didn't post it, but many of my students actually smashed TP on this trade. And we had price rejected right at this point. Now, what are the two reasons why the market rejected right at that point? It's really very simple. Aside from the fact of that, this level being a very strong 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, right? We have another point right here where the market was reaching out, which is the previous area of resistance right here, turning into a support. So that was a very key area. So that level now has given us the new base in the market where the market might be coming to. So what is the next thing I'm going to do? I'm going to identify this level as a very, very strong area of potential break. Now, you can see now that we are interpreting the market, and just naturally the market is giving us meaning. What do I mean? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, high, right? Then we have a double pressure right here. In fact, the pressure was extended and the sellers came in right here, and we're looking to break this right here to come to this level. Simple, right? It's really just very simple, right? So now it's making sense to us right now. So the next thing we're going to look at is, let's take it down to the daily, to the 1 hour time frame to see, what can we do around this area? What is that thing that we can do around this area that is going to give us an entry, right? Most people are just going to dive into the market. It's like you're not testing the oceans, right, for you to dive into the market. So now that we have this level, the next thing we want to do right here now, you want to bring out your counter trend line. What do we have right here? We have a counter trend line right here where the market is actually breaking. So this is one of the confirmations we're looking out for. But trend lines are weak. I see a lot of people basing off their trading on trend lines. It's a very, very weak confirmation, and I do not recommend it. So now that the market is making a move to this level, the next thing that I want you guys now to focus on now is we are still having a very strong zone in the market. So what does it look like, right? From this point right here, we're having a very strong area right here. So that means this sell right here that the market is actually giving us, by the reasons of this double exhaustion right here that the market is giving us, at some point, it has to rest, right? Now, psychology-wise, right? And, I do not want you guys to just approach the market technically. That's really too cheap, right? So psychology-wise, the traders that got here, they overextended this plateau right here. And because of that, it took them time to get in. So the aggressive sellers came in right at this point, right? And you can see the more aggressive sellers. Now, you're going to think that this is the most aggressive selling that is going to come into the market, but I can tell you this, that is very wrong. The sellers that are going to come into the market right at this point are not even aggressive enough. These are literally the first phase of sellers that are going to come into the market. Why? Because they have a level where they are definitely going to get tired. Now, looking at this from a 4 hours time frame context, right? I'm taking my time to explain, it's not usually this long when I'm analyzing. It takes me 1 to 2 minutes, right? You see, the sellers coming right here, they have one job. And their job is very simple. Their job is to push the market to a very clear zone where the other sellers can have more confidence, which is right below this level. If these sellers right here can push the market, right below this level, then they're going to take a rest. When they take a rest, that's technically you're looking at the break of structure. Psychologically, you're looking at the point whereby the sellers want to push the market to within a level that they are going to have there's not going to be any doubt in the market if that level is going to work, right? At that point right here, then you are going to have a pullback, right? That pullback is what's going to open the room to this level for a TP1 and this level right here for a TP2, right? So this is what we're going to be looking at. Most people could not join in right here, but let's go to the 1 hour time frame because we're not just going to wait on the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, what are we looking at? We're going to identify that key areas, right? The key area right here where the market, when it gets to, the sellers are going to get to that point that say, you know what, I think we own the market right now. We own the market by the reasons of our aggressive, moving to this level. So what do we anticipate out of the market? What we anticipate out of the market is very simple. So if you're not able to join this first move, I'm going to take my profit right there. I've been in on this trade actually from this level. Now, another confirmation that I might just want to give to you, there are so many confirmations I could talk about, but you don't need all the confirmations. You just need a few ones, right? You have this level right here also, which is the trend line, right here. For me, I'm not really a trend line kind of person. It's just one of the added confirmation I have to my arsenal, right? So it's not really my cup of tea. I remember what I taught you guys on trend line trading, right? I look at people asking that I look at people ask certain questions in the market and I wonder if they actually read. or if they actually watch this video I upload, because on this video I covered a few things, which deeper of them are in my one-on-one mentorship, right? And I actually recommend my mentorship for anyone looking to taking the trading serious, right? We have the first touch right here, okay? We have the second touch right here. Now, there are rules to drawing trend line. It has to be pinpoint. I see many people draw trend line through the week of the candlesticks. It's not going to give a profit all the time. It might work once, but it's not going to work all the time. I see the third touch right here. The moment the market touched this level right here, this was the point of confirmation that this trend line is going to hold, right? This level right here is the point where we know that this trend line is going to hold, right? But look at what happened. It went to the fourth one. And if you watch my trend line video very well, I said, if the market closed back into the trend line, actually, that's a very good confirmation, right? And was that the reason why I took the sell? It's one of the, confirmation, but some of the major confirmation why I enter into the market, some of my students that here are definitely going to be saying it. So what are we waiting for right now? It's very simple. If you're not able to join, there's no need to actually try to chase the trade, right? So what we're going to be waiting for right here is wait for the market to break this level, okay? We are running out of time. Once the market break this level right here, I'm going to be taking, I took a trade, I sent a video right now, right there into the group. I took a trade. Once the market break this level, what had actually happened right here is that the sellers that are out here, okay, the sellers have pushed the market with the beyond reasonable doubt that we are right now in chat. So what happens once the sellers are resting, they are taking the feet off the gas. Now the buyers are going to come in. They are going to want to take this advantage, thinking they're right there. But you know what? The more aggressive phase of sellers are going to come in right at this area, right around this area. They are going to come in. They are definitely going to come in right around this area. And what happens when it comes right around this area? It's very simple. They are going to force the market down. Man, you're going to see a crash in the market. Now, that's when most people are going to say, oh, the news. I don't care about the news. The news is just a catalyst, right? Once you know what the market is about to do, the news is just going to make it faster, okay? So we are going to be looking at the trade right here to this level, not just to that level, but let me make sure I'm quick with this before the market, the time runs out. So we are going to be looking at the trade, that has the potential of this. So we're going to be having potentially our TP1 right here. And we're going to be having our TP2 right there to the downside. So what we're going to be having right here will be, let me just take this off since I'm not talking about this. So what we're going to be having right here is a situation. It's going to be a situation whereby the market breaks this, right? The buyers want to take advantage, Technically, you can look into the 61.8 Fibonacci level, okay? Or perhaps you can just look at this area of previous support, consider it as a zone right here. So you can actually look at this area and look to finding your entry right there. So what do? We know that this is our point of interest. This area right here is our point of interest, right? So when the market make a move back to this level, what we're simply going to be doing right here is we're going to be selling down. Hold up. We're going to be selling down to this level, right? We're going to be selling down to the second level, and we're going to be selling down to this third level. So we have what we're waiting for right now. Let me see if I'm able to save this right here. I'm not used to Zoom. Okay, so this is what we're going to be waiting for, okay? So we're going to be waiting for the market making a move like this, right? So we want to wait. Let us take profit for us who got in right here, which we joined the first phase of the aggressive sellers. The second phase of the first phase of the sellers are coming right here. The second phase of the sellers are going to come in right here. And the moment you have that pullback to this zone, you can just enter your trade, because the trade is actually, the moment the sellers push beyond this level, the trade is already valid. What you're looking for right here is just for you to find your entry, right? the safest point for you to put your stop loss is right above this level. So you're going to be looking at putting your stop loss anywhere right above this level. It could be 80 pips, right? It's a swing trade. Don't worry about it. Your risk reward is actually intact, right? So the market should come to as much as this level right here. I'm expecting anywhere from this level. So your stop loss should be somewhere around this level for safety. And, you should be looking at this. This could be 1:9, 1:10 for, anyone. It's going to be a very strong swing trade, okay? And as you know me, I take just swing trades. So on TP1, you should be acing at least 1:6, something thereabout. If you want to be on the safest point, just put your stop loss right here. At this point right here, you're still going to be looking at almost 1:9, right? So this is what I'm going to be looking at. Do I think the market will go down further than that? Yes, I'm going to be taking my trade further down than that, but the thing is, I might just get bored and I'm just going to close, right? So it's always good to know those levels right there, right? So this is what we're going to be looking at for the market. So say be patient enough. Now, it's a game of being patient right now. So I'm going to say be patient enough, allow the market, right, to actually play out, okay? Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Allow the market to actually play out, right? Once the market plays out and give that break, it's a psychological game. It's not really technical, right? Once the market actually break below that level, the sellers have confirmed their supremacy in the market for the next couple weeks, right? And after the market give you that, I think the next thing you should be looking at is actually executing. So this is what we're going to be looking at. The first phase of the sell, sorry. Just a few of my students, many of them sent me, their screenshot, and I can see they were able to grab it as well. There are certain confirmations that I thought within my strategies that give us an entry, not just the trend line. The trend line is one of the added confirmation, but there are other things that we're looking at, and it's in. But this second one right here, I've given you my game plan of exactly what I'm going to do. Just know that when the market is right there, well, perhaps, since you guys are in the community, free community, I'm just going to drop hints and, in that. But this is going to be one of those trades. These are the kind of trades where I usually have some of these trades in the year where I go, the other time I went 1:14. In the beginning of the year, I went 1:12. These are just one of those big trades that makes the difference for me, that when I close the profit, if I decide not to trade in the next 3 months, I'm good, right? So I hope you guys have been able to learn, not just the technical part of the thing. You can see that most of my trading are less technical, but more of psychological, right? And what do I mean by psychological? It's just clarity of what I want to do, understanding the flow of the market and interpreting it effortlessly. So thank you guys so much. Perhaps, I don't know, we might be uploading this on YouTube. And let me know if you learned something really fantastic today in the comment section before I get off. Let me know. Let me know. Forex can be simple, okay? It can be easy. It really can be easy. Okay? It doesn't have to be technical. Most people think it's technical. The funny thing is, like, when people join my one-on-one mentorship, they they have this shock. It's like a culture shock, which is not the norm in the Forex trading community. They think we are just going to jump exactly into technical, and they just want to see this complicated stuff. And they get surprised when it's like, I've not even shown you the chart for the first 2 classes. I've not even shown you the chart for the first 2 classes. And like, okay, so what are you doing? They have this shock, and I kind of see it on their faces, right? So the whole idea is very simple. There are certain things that you need to understand. It's less technical, to be honest. It's less technical. Forex market is less technical. Go and check some of the best traders. Check my chart. Check some of your biggest traders' chart. Check people that you've been watching in the game. You will see that the people making the most, they do not really talk technicals as much, right? So that means you need specific knowledge, right? For people who wants to join my community, you can text the admin after this class. You're gonna see the contact admin, and please be aware of be aware of scammers, right? I'm not going to text you first, okay? And that's why the contact admin is there. That's why the Telegram link is attached to my YouTube in such a way that nobody should scam you. You know, I see people create different fake pages of, you know, this community, and, you know, it's really appalling. So I wish you guys the very best. I'm just in a very good mood today. You know, this week has been super amazingly profitable. You know, even my students, you know, I'm just so happy and glad that, you know, everyone is winning. And I just feel the need to just share this with a free channel. God bless you guys. And I wish you guys a very wonderful rest of your evening, depending on your time zone, money, your time zone, and have a great one. All right. Bye.